Hello everyone, good evening, welcome. This is our Boost Your Vocabulary session 59. This is our Boost Your Vocabulary. So, today we are going to be learning some new words. My name is Yukta Agarwal and this is my second session with you guys. Alright, so the first word for today is colloquy. So, as a lot of you must have seen the etymology or the root words, whenever we find that the word loquy or loque is used in any word, it generally is related to speaking or talking. So, when I say colloquy, you can remember it by the mnemonic aid collective loquy, collective speaking. So, whenever we are having a serious discussion or a serious dialogue, or let's say we are having a conference, a council, we call it a colloquy, right? So a serious conversation or a dialogue, a decision about which needs to be made, that's called a colloquy. The synonyms for the words can be conference, council, symposium, roundtable, forum, seminar, and so on. You can use the word in a sentence. For example, today we had a colloquy on economic globalization at school, or representatives from 178 countries attended a colloquy on one of the most important topics or which are currently important. This word is a noun. It's generally used as a noun in our parts of speech. Let's move on to the next word. The second word for the day is transmundane. So, transmundane basically means anything that extends or lies beyond the world, anything that's ethereal, anything that's divine, that is in any sense that is related to something beyond the tangible world that we live in every day. So, how you can remember this word? You can say something that transfers beyond the mundane. So, mundane is everything. Something that is very boring or something that is very everyday is mundane. So, how can you remember transmundane? By saying anything that transfers beyond the mundane, transfers beyond the everyday life or the world that we live in every single day, that is transmundane. Synonyms for transmundane can be divine, ethereal, sublime. Now, sublime is one important word that a lot of you might not be familiar with, but sublime is also the meaning that something that lies beyond the world, something that extends beyond the real, right? So, I can say that when I went on a hiking trip with my friends, the sight in front of me was really transmundane. So, as you can understand from the sentence, it's generally used as an adjective. Next word we have for today is Stygian. The word is pronounced as Stygian. So you can think of something like a pigsty, something that's stagnant, stinky, or stale. So something that is dark or very gloomy, or that does not look appealing at all. That's very ugly to look at. Something like that would be called Stygian. So once again, Stygian is an adjective that we use, and the synonyms for Stygian can be caliginous, gloomy, murky, rayless, somber, tenebrific, tenebrous, and so on. So you can say that the victim was imprisoned in a Stygian attic or a Stygian cellar. Something that is very dark and ugly or gloomy is called Stygian. The next word we have for today is warlock. So, warlock is basically a man who practices witchcraft. Just like how women who practice witchcraft are called witches, similarly, the man who practices witchcraft or black arts is called a warlock. So, you can imagine in the stories that we read during the childhood, there was generally a very wise warlock with long hair. So, that's how you can remember a man with long locks. Lock is another word, another synonym for hair. So, you can obviously remember it by that. A man with long locks is called a warlock. A warlock is somebody like a magician, a sorcerer, a wizard, a conjurer, a necromancer. Now let's take a look at the word necromancer. Necro means the word necro, the root word necro means something that is dead. So necromancer will be somebody that deals with the dead, right? Or somebody that conjures of the dead. So similarly, that would be a synonym to somebody who is involved in black arts or witchcraft. So we can say that a warlock appeared in front of me as I was hallucinating, right? So warlock is a person, or is used to talk about a person, and therefore it's a noun. The part of speech is noun. The next word we have for today is bereft, which means to be left with nothing, to be deprived of a possession. Or bereft has another meaning. It means that you are grieving the loss of something. So either you're deprived or robbed of your some of the possession, or you're grieving about something that you do not have, or a loss that you have faced. Right, that's bereft. So how you can remember this word? With the help of a mnemonic aid: to be left with nothing. Bereft, to be left with nothing. Right, the synonyms for the word can be devoid, destitute, barren, bereaved, mourning, and so on. So let's take a look at the sentence. It's used in a slightly different context. It's not that the country was completely bereft of humor, so completely deprived of humor. Maybe we're in a situation where, although the joke was funny, but maybe somebody took it personally and they were not able to relate to it. Therefore they said the country is not completely bereft of humor. So bereft is generally used as an adjective whenever we are using it in a sentence. Let's move on to the next word, manji. So, manji, as the word suggests, grungy, tattered, something that is worn, something that is used a lot, something that has visible neglect showing, right? Something that's been left unattended, that's worn out completely. That's something called manji. So, the um, mnemonic that you can use for manji is grungy, or the synonyms for the word can be shabby, dilapidated, neglected, scruffy. I don't know if CBSE still has that chapter, the portrait by Kushwant Singh. In that, if you remember, the drum that the grandma is playing is dilapidated, means it's already very used and very worn out. It seems like it's already breaking or chipping off in certain places. That's dilapidated. So that could be one word that is probably asked in your exams. Or I could say, a mangy old car that was covered in rust was standing in front of my house. So mangy is used to describe a noun, therefore it's used as an adjective. Right? So today I also have a different category of vocab for you guys. Another way in which vocab is asked in your entrance exams is in form of one word substitution. Right. So, in which a word will probably be given to you, and you have to figure out the meaning of that word. And that word generally expands into a particular meaning, talks about a certain person, or is just a word that is allocated to talk about something, but in a short form. Right. So, when I say somebody is a bigot, it means they are excessively enthusiastic about religious matters. So, as you can see, you will be given 4 options like these, and out of which you will have to pick one option, which is the most suitable one. Or you might be asked the question the other way around, where you are given a sentence and you have to say, you have to find a one word substitution which can substitute the given meaning. Okay, so maybe you will be given one who is filled with excessive enthusiasm about religious matters, and you will pick the option bigot. Right? So, somebody who is filled with excessive enthusiasm about religious matters is a bigot. The next word we have for today is a cacographist. A cacographist is basically, as you can figure out from the word, caco, or if you remember the word cacophony, means something that's very annoying, something that's not up to the standards, not up to the mark. That is caco, bad. And graphist is related to writing or spellings. So somebody who is bad with spellings or bad with handwriting is called a cacographist. Right? So you can figure that much out. Let's take a look at the next word, which is a polyglot. Poly means many and glot means languages. So somebody who speaks many languages is called a polyglot. That will be all for today. Thank you for joining the session. Goodbye. Have a good evening.